Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining our second roundtable discussion highlighting the importance of inclusion, diversity, and representation in the skincare industry. Today, we will focus on Latinx skin with a panel discussion led by Leslie Goodman. Our dynamic group of panelists include licensed estheticians Heather Aguirre, Belinda Sotis, Frank Velaz, and our own PR and social manager, Cami Hernandez. Together, they will share their unique stories, successes, and of course, professional skincare guidance. So, everybody, please join me in welcoming Leslie and our panel. You're on mute.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And thank you, Jacqueline, for that lovely introduction. This session is being recorded. So let's dive in. I'd like to give our fantastic panelists a chance to introduce themselves. So please let me introduce Cami. Let me also introduce Frank, Heather,
Hey.
and Melinda. Welcome.
Hello.
All right. So why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and your connection to Image Skincare. Melinda, let's start with you.
Hi, guys. So I've been in the beauty industry for 22 years, and I learned that maintaining healthy skin was extremely important. It is what brings life to the face. It truly is the best canvas for makeup. And whether you go very natural or you go super dramatic, there's no amount of talent that can create a beautiful piece of art without having healthy, radiant skin underneath. And that's when I started on my journey of getting into skincare, and I went back to school and got my esthetician license. And now I've been with Image Skincare for about a year and a half now and loving it.
Thank you, Melinda. Heather, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell everybody where you're from and your connection to Image Skincare.
Hi guys, can you hear me? Okay. Hi guys, I'm Heather Aguirre. I am an esthetician. I've been practicing for about 15 years. I'm primarily on the clinical side of things, focusing on skin correction, a lot of focus on skin of culture. And I worked with lasers and different modalities, but I came to Image as a business development manager about 3.5 years. So I'm very happy to be a part of our Image family and be able to train and coach and develop other estheticians kind of across the globe. My ethnic background, it's kind of loaded. I was born in Japan. My father's Mexican. My mom is Swedish and Native American. So I grew up on the West Coast, California, also spent some time in Florida and Texas. So kind of we're called Chicano or Chicana, but that's a little bit about my background.
Thank you for sharing, Heather. Frank, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and your connection to Image Skincare?
Well, my name is Frank Velaz. I have been in the industry for over 20 years. I'm owner-operator of Urban Retreat Spa here in sunny Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm originally from the island of Cuba. I was born there, and my parents migrated in the 60s as communism took over our country. So I'm technically a refugee to this country. And I love that I'm being included with all these beautiful women in this discussion. My connection with Image started in cosmetology school because I'm a very demanding person. And I did not like the line that they were training me on. I'm like, it's not happening. It's not happening for me. I want Image Skincare. I've read about it. I want to experience Image Skincare. So I called you guys, and you guys sent a rep to my school, and that's it. The rest is history. You've even voted me Esthetician of the Year. And I think that Image is the perfect line for South Florida because growing up in Miami, I grew up around hashtag all shades of beautiful, and Image addresses everyone.
Well, thank you for that introduction, Frank. And Cami, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and your connection to Image Skincare.
Of course. So hello, everyone. My name is Cami, and as you guys know, I do handle all things PR and social media. I am Colombian, but I'm almost as how Heather and Frank were saying, have a little mix of both areas. I'm also half Italian, so I have the best of both worlds, I guess you could say. So I came here when I was very tiny, though I am still young. I pretty much am. I'm pretty much more American than anything else, given that I have spent more time here, but very true to the culture and very, close to it. And then my connection to image actually has a full circle. My mom is an esthetician slash dermatologist, and she's carried image for over 10 years. And I grew up with seeing the brand pretty much grow up. I've seen it this transition, its growth from collection to collection. And the first thing that my mom will always tell me would be SPF always. And of course, I had Prevention Plus with me all the time. And it was my lifesaver during soccer days when I played collegiate soccer. So, of course, being exposed as an athlete, it was pretty intense. And I would always get these blemishes all over. So it was a must to always be, at the forefront with skincare. So now come years becoming a professional, now I'm on the brand. So it's literally a full circle.
Yes, it is. And we love having you at Image Skincare. So before we dive into some questions for each of you, I would like to let the audience know, please type in your questions for any or all of the panelists throughout. We'll open it up to the audience questions at the end, and you can do so by clicking on the chat icon and typing your question, and we will again address those at the end. So with that being said, I'm going to start with Heather. I'm going to ask you all the same 3 questions. So the first question, Heather, is what is your definition of beauty?
Okay, so this is like kind of a loaded question because I find beauty in so much. My answer is a lot of things. Beauty to me is culture, is kindness, it's age, it's wisdom. I find beauty in enriching other people's lives by teaching them how to treat their bodies well, treat their skin and their bodies with love. Beauty to me is familia, it's food, it's dancing, it's language. It's basically what makes up a human being, I guess. I just find so much beauty in people across the world.
That's a beautiful answer. Thank you, Heather.
I know.
So I'm going to ask you the next question. What are your skin concerns as a Latina woman?
So that's super easy. Any Latinos out there likely will have the same answer. Manchas, hyperpigmentation. We pigment so easily. Our skin is programmed to respond to any sort of injury by depositing that pigment in our skin. So it is very universal amongst the Latino community, that uneven pigmentation. Additionally, Latinos typically tend to be more oily, have more sebum in the skin. So that can really help us to age later. But on the other hand, once we go, once we have that acne buildup in this, or the oil buildup in the skin, then we can get those blemishes, those breakouts, which in turn, when we go outside, will turn into sunspots and melasma and hyperpigmentation. So definitely a top concern for skin of culture, as well as Latino skin.
Okay, so next question for you. How did you begin your love affair with skincare? And I'm not speaking about the profession, I'm speaking about taking care of your skin.
So beginning, it would be my mother. My mother always took really great care of her skin. She used Mary Kay when I was a child. And so she just kind of instilled that sense of, take care of your skin. This is an important part of who you are. Be good to your skin. But really, I didn't really ever think about getting into the profession until my mom and I were actually on vacation. And we were on vacation in Hawaii, and we were both got facials. And so my mom comes out and she says, "Hey, you should do this for a living." Meanwhile, I just finished getting my degree in culinary arts. So like, I'm not sure. So I go home and kind of like let everything resonate. And I looked into it and really found that I think, I thought I would love being in the industry of aesthetics. It was, so much about, for me, making other people feel good about the skin that they're in. And I really wanted to focus on the clinical side of things, providing, true correction. So I enrolled and I completed my aesthetic program and became licensed. And then from there, I went on to getting licensed as a certified laser specialist. So I could use different laser modalities and injectables and things like that. And when I started practicing, I really found that there was kind of a disconnect in understanding skin of culture. And so I basically made it my focus to just focus on treating skin of culture, treating all skin types, especially Latinos. We range from very fair skin to very dark skin. So we all kind of need something a little bit different. And that just kind of became my entire focus. And since then, I've been, helping others to understand their own skin better, as well as helping other licensed professionals to understand all skin types better as well.
Thank you, Heather. All right, I'm going to move on to Frank. Frank, what is your definition of beauty?
All the cliches. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Everybody's beautiful. Beauty comes from within. So I really believe that those are all based on truths, and I do believe that beauty comes from within. Beauty to me, a true beauty is when I feel your energy and your presence before I visually see you, you're already beautiful. I'm just going to be playing with you in the room and we're going to make you glow and glossy and gorgeous. But I think the majority of my clients come to me already being beautiful.
Oh, I love that answer. Next question for you. What are your skin concerns as a Latino man?
Well, everything Heather said. Okay. It is like, seriously, it's like the pigmentation, how we just get pigment no matter what. It's like she said, our bodies are designed to do that. And living in South Florida, I do have a lot of clients that come to me because they have melasmas or pigmentation. But I really find that the big thing with Latin skin is dehydrated skin. The skin seems to be so dehydrated because we love the outdoors. This is South Florida. Where are you going to be if not outdoors? So we take a lot of sun. A lot of Latin women love to wear makeup. So now you have the sun and makeup and breakouts and you get that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So I would be that. It's kind of the dehydration and the hyperpigmentation are the two things that I primarily deal with. That's the concern that I get. And I've actually pulled some products that I like to recommend to my clients. If we get the opportunity, I'll go ahead and show them.
Thank you. Last question for you. How did you begin your love affair with skincare? Not the profession, but taking care of your skin.
It started at a very, very, very young age, as my brother continues to make fun of me because he says I would condition my hair and wrap it up in a big towel. And then I would steam my face over the stove. And then I would apply a Queen Helene mint julep mask. I'm aging myself. That's from the 60s, okay? And then I would, of course, take my nap because I was so stressed out at 7 or 8. And I think that's how it all started. And then it went from that. My mom would look at these fashion magazines for Latin women. One of them was called Vanidades. I know Heather remembers that one or she's heard of it. And my mom would try to like copy like the looks of the makeup of these beautiful Latin women in these magazines that we would get from Spain and from Puerto Rico. And it was, I just became, I married a makeup artist. I mean, I am totally into skincare and I just love image. So it's like a great fit for me. It just, I do what I love and I've always loved it. How lucky am I, right?
Yes, and we love you. All right, so Cammie, I'm gonna ask you the same set of questions. What is your definition of beauty?
I think both Frank and Heather have nailed it on the inner and outer beauty, and focusing on the whole aspect of culture and definitely familia. That's a huge aspect for Hispanics. And I feel like in every culture, they have their own niche of way of, showcasing their beauty. I think it's definitely something that I grew up with as always thinking of beauty as always being young. So keeping a young spirit, young way of seeing things, always having fun, always bringing that good energy. Like Frank said, it's a way that you carry yourself and that you are there for others. The way that your morality. That's a big aspect of it. So definitely considering all aspects of what makes us and what makes each and one of us unique.
Beautiful answer. Next question for you. What are your skincare concerns as a Latino woman?
This is a tricky one because although hyperpigmentation and blemishes are big, coming from a background where I have mixed, where I do have European descent, so I don't suffer so much from, let's say, the oily type skin, but I do get blemishes, but then they go away as soon as I treat my skin. So it's knowing the right balance. And sometimes if you overdo it, then there's other things that can come out of it. So it's a very tricky balance, having a mix of both Latina and European type of skin where it's like mixed. So I would say it's a mix of all of that.
Thank you. So I'm going to ask you this last question, but I think you touched upon it because you told us your mother's an esthetician. So how did you begin your love affair with skincare, not the profession, but taking care of your skin?
So my mom, definitely Mama Bear. Mommy's got it all. It actually stemmed from my dad's mom, so my grandmother, her, mother-in-law. So her mom passed away when she was very young. So never really had that role model growing up until my grandma came around and showcased her the ways of skincare. And that's where it started. So we would start with even the eggshells. My grandma would be like, we're not going to use a product. You can just get the hyaluronic acid from the egg and peel the egg out and break it apart and put the egg on their skin. It would be like this all day. And then my parents would try to make them, smile just to like mess around with them. So definitely started with at-home treatments and you name it, avocado, the whole nine. It was like a whole meal on my face. And then from there, it started to my mom developing, the love for the profession and then understanding the products. And then I was pretty much getting facials since a very young age, thanks to my beautiful mother, just being like, let me test this out on you. So that's how it started.
Thank you for sharing. Melinda, I'm going to ask you the same three questions. What is your definition of beauty?
My definition of beauty consists of several different things. Of course, Heather nailed it right on the head. The first thing is your spirit and your energy when you walk into a room. Following that, I think that first impressions is everything. And so although I'm going to go against kind of what everybody else is saying as far as what beauty is, but first impressions is everything. And what people see, they right away will develop an opinion about you in a matter of 5 seconds. And so I always felt growing up that appearance was extremely important. However, I believe that you're beautiful when you get out of the shower and when your hair is wet and your skin is just fresh and you have absolutely nothing on. To me, that is beautiful. And that's what brings in treating the skin and making sure that the skin stays healthy. Now, growing up, I was a little bit opposite of how I got into skincare. My mom was never into skincare. My mom was never into makeup and never forced upon us to drink water. So I grew up in Boston, and in Boston, in the winters, when that sun comes out, finally, you are on that roof, on that black tar with the baby oil, and you are frying your skin. And you have no one to tell you that you are actually damaging your skin. And you may not see it now, but you're going to see it 10 years from now. And I basically just fried my skin. And SPF was never spoken about because we never really burned. And so it wasn't something that was really that important. When I moved here to Florida, I said I was going to be at the beach every day and I was going to be laying out in the sun every day. until I started to see people walking around with the sun damage from people that had lived here and grew up here. And that's when I was like, no way. And I had already started to develop a lot of sun damage, and I started to see the melasma. And so I had to actually do corrective and started using, the Aluma and exfoliating and brightening my skin to try to get rid of the melasma. Now that I have my skin in good condition, I'm like chugging the water and making sure I never sleep with my makeup. And, and I'm actually teaching my daughter's 5 years old, and I'm starting to teach her the importance of it because it wasn't taught to me. And I then had to correct it years down the road.
Thank you. Next question for you. What are your skincare concerns as a Latino woman?
The two main concerns that I have with my skin, it was the hyperpigmentation that I developed from the sun. And then the second thing was texture. The sun created such bad texture to my skin. So it took, I would say, probably a good 2 years to get my skin looking healthy again. And I thought I knew good skincare until I came to Image. And when I came to Image, I was like blown away. It was the only thing that was able to repair my skin and bring it back to its natural, healthy state.
So I'm going to ask you a different question as your third question. You said you started using Image and it brought your skincare to a healthy state. What were the products that you first used?
So the very first product that was introduced to me when I started here from our HR director was the Aluma line, and that's the Intense Brightening Exfoliating Powder. So this is actually like my baby because it can actually be used in so many different ways. You can just add a little bit of water to it. You can make it thicker. You can make it thinner depending on your need. You can apply it like a mask, leave it on for a little bit, and then remove it with tepid water. And you can add some into your moisturizer. And so this I will use religiously, and I add more or less depending on the health of my skin at that time. And the second thing, which was huge, was the Intense Brightening Serum. This is what actually helped to repair the melasma on my skin. Now, the exfoliating powder dealt with the texture. This dealt with the melasma. And then, of course, the Prevention Plus religiously every single day. Big hats, big glasses, Prevention Plus. Say I look like a grandma. I don't care what I look like anymore, but my skin looks beautiful.
Thank you for sharing that. So I'm going to ask you each some different questions. So Frank, you own a very popular, well-known spa in Fort Lauderdale. And I know this personally because I'm from Fort Lauderdale and I know your location well. I would like to know what skincare concerns you see every day and what products do you recommend to treat them?
Sure. First of all, I would like to say, yo hablo tu idioma y yo entiendo tu piel. Aquí todo el mundo está bienvenido. I just wanted to welcome all the Latin viewers that are watching, and I wanted to say something in Spanish so that they know that I know how to speak their language and I understand their skin, okay? So if you're coming to me for the first time, I'm gonna do a skin analysis, which is something that Image Skincare trains us really well to do. We're gonna, clean your makeup off, put the light on you, and we're gonna see what's going on. I'm gonna ask you what your concerns are, and I'm gonna share with you what I'm seeing. And normally what I'm seeing is dehydrated skin. Skin that is dull and isn't really doing us any good. Makeup is difficult to put on that type of skin because it's always dry. So I might lead you in the direction of an exfoliating treatment. And for me, the best exfoliating treatment is the ones that are based on enzymes, on fruit acids, and that would be the O2 lift. That's a quick way to just roll away some of the dead skin and reveal the beautiful skin that's underneath. And it's almost like the reset button. So once we have your skin gorgeous like that and we've removed that dull skin, instantly you're gonna see there's hope, okay? I do have beautiful skin, it's just down in there. So after the O2 lift, of course, I'm gonna put I'm gonna put everybody on what all of you have mentioned. Obviously a wash, obviously a hyaluronic and a vitamin C and a sunblock. But I have also some products here that I think aren't used, that people may not know about. I know we sell a lot of them, but we don't talk a lot about these products. And I really want to show you what some of them are, because it's all about exfoliation to illumination. And I want to show you how to get there.
Thank you. So Heather, I'm going to ask you a question. So you're in the field every day speaking to estheticians, spa owners, plastic surgeons, dermatologists. What do you hear as a common skincare concern? And what are the products that you recommend to treat them?
So I see a lot of like what Cami and I discussed earlier. There's a lot of mixed backgrounds these days. You're not just 100% Mexican, and even if you are 100% Mexican, you could come from the valley where you have blonde hair and green eyes and very light skin, or you could be from like Sonora or Mexico City and be darker. So I see a lot of like different like blends. So for myself, I see pigment, I see oil, I see texture. For others, I see lifting, I see tightening. For like the main products, I'm a huge lover of Illuma as well. So Illuma, the bleaching serum, I am just like totally in love with this. If you have heightened states of hyperpigmentation that really need correction very quickly, this is typically what myself, what other estheticians, derms, plastics will put their patients or their clients on to get that clearance really quickly. And of course, if you are, if you're trying to maintain that, the Illuma brightening serum. So again, lover of Illuma. And also MD. So MD, my, I guess, go-tos for a lot of my accounts and a lot of individuals would be, of course, the MD Restoring SPF Daily 50. This is incredible, you guys. Like, this can go onto any skin type, any skin tone, whether you are fair, whether you're on the darker side. It's incredible. And, just like everybody mentioned before, as Latinos, we don't burn as easily, typically. So we're not taught, this is what you should be using on a daily basis. But this is a big thing now. And my accounts are primarily, using the MD, but we have an array of sunscreen with MD. One other thing I will say, this is probably one of my favorite image products. This is the Ageless Anti-Aging Serum. This is loaded with AHAs, so alpha hydroxy acids that will exfoliate the skin and brighten at the same time. I always explain this as like it's the windshield wipers on your car. So like when we have that like dull skin, that kind of like dry, not illuminated skin, this kind of takes the windshield wiper across it and brings forth that vibrant, very dewy, hydrated, even pigmented skin. Love this. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it sure did. And just so the audience knows, we'll be sending out an email after our event that later this week with all of the products noted today. So moving on, Cami, I'm going to put you on the spot. So you lead our social media team here at Image Skincare. I'd really love for you to talk to us today about the strides that we have made regarding inclusivity.
Yeah, certainly. So there's a plethora of things that we have been doing, not only in social, but I also want to highlight all the efforts that we're doing as a brand and for our own employees and, everyone, all of Image Nation pretty much. So we were on, if you're talking about first within social media, very product heavy and of course highlighting the great benefits that all of our lines hold, but we were never really showcasing any human elements or faces to the brand, right? So it was a goal to really make sure that the audience could connect with the products that they're seeing. Nowadays, every time that we're scrolling on social media, every time that we see some engaging post or anything, we want to be able to connect. And, it could be that it's also a cultural thing where some people might perceive some content different than others. And we wanted to really make an inclusive presence on social. So the way that we've been doing that is, generating content where we're posting, products that are tailored to certain cultures, or maybe we have also implemented highlights on our professionals where we have been creating content in Spanish and English, or they could be talking in Spanish and then we translate it to English, or maybe they do a product review and it's in Spanish and then we translate it to English. So really making sure that all of our audiences, like Frank highlighted, yo también hablo tu idioma. So we all speak, we're here for everyone. So it's not a matter of just one, background, but all. So it's heavy lifting that we're all doing from all areas, hence why we're having these conversations and bringing to light more knowledge. As we all know, knowledge is power, and Image is truly, pioneer in providing all of that. So very proud of being, a part of a team that is concerned and is really focused on doing those things. So with these examples, like providing highlights in all languages, even sign language, and oftentimes we kind of leave out that community, but we should also be inclusive of them. So keeping in mind that it's a long and extensive process. And right now we're at that point where really nurturing our community and learning what they want, right? So we'd love to hear from all of you here as well. What is it that you guys would love to see on our social media? What do you need? How can we help? Because ultimately we're here for you guys. So this is really what our focus is and what we've been doing. Also even highlighting some of the digital efforts where we are even including on our Amazon front Spanish content with banners. When you switch your language on there, it will switch to Spanish. That's huge because it's reaching us, it's reaching the whole familia. So we do so many other things that should be kind of always be top of mind for all of us. So that's
Thank
pretty much
you,
all of it.
Cami. Thank
Yeah.
you for that candid reply. Melinda.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to ask you this question. You're a professional makeup artist and an esthetician. The word Fitzpatrick is often used when describing skin tone.
Mhm.
Could you please tell those who aren't familiar with the term what Fitzpatrick is?
So Fitzpatrick scale is basically a guideline ranging from, I believe there's 6 different shades going from lightest to darkest, and how your skin reacts to the sun and how long you can stay in the sun before your skin actually burns. So everybody fits into a certain category with the Fitzpatrick scale. But Latin people, Latin families, Latin women, even Latin men, which Latin men tend to not really care too much about SPF either. We can't forget about the men. We usually fall into the range of category 3, category 4, and category 5. So with that being said, you're gonna get mild sensitivity, burns minimally, and also it tans very well. And that's the misconception, is that when people see that they're tanning, they don't think that they're burning. But under all of those layers, the melasma is coming right to the skin, and you may not see it now, but you're going to see it 10 years from now. So the Fitzpatrick scale basically will tell you your range and how long you can stay in the sun prior to getting burned. And also the sensitivities that your skin will have in the Fitzpatrick scale. So that kind of leads me to like the eye conceal that we sell here as well. Eye conceal is kind of my baby. When I first came here, they had me teach 4 classes about eye conceal because it kind of tied together skincare with makeup. And so people they weren't sure how to address it. And the eye conceal is just like the Fitzpatrick scale. There's only 6 shades. There's no undertone. When you put it on, it will pick up the natural undertone of your skin. But it also has so many nutrients and so many vitamins for the skin. It has the plant stem cells, it has the antioxidants, it has the botanicals. So it's nurturing to the skin, but at the same time, it's waterproof, which is fantastic for here in South Florida, where it's super hot and everybody's sweating. It's waterproof, doesn't move, and full coverage, and it makes your skin look radiant. And that's what everybody ultimately wants. Even skin tone and radiant skin that just has beautiful life to it. So the eye conceal, that is my baby. I love it. And I just like ran with it when I first came here.
Yes, you did. And you did a fantastic job explaining.
Thank you.
So I'm going to ask you each the same question, and then we're going to ask our audience. I'm going to ask you the audience questions. So Cami, what are your 2 favorite image skincare products?
I love the MD SPF. Heather, you're right on it. And then I love the Max Cleanser.
Frank, your turn. What are your 2 favorite image products?
I'm old school. I love the product that started the entire company. This is the top selling vitamin C, the hydrating anti-aging serum. People cannot get enough of this. I mean, like basically put a straw and drink it. People cannot get enough of this. And I just love this product. And if I had to pick another product, I have a whole bunch of products here in front of me. I'm gonna pick an interesting product. This is the Ageless Total Resurfacing Mask. I love a product that can multitask. This is a micro exfoliating mask. So on clean skin, you gently massage this into your face, and then you work up from 5 minutes up to 30 minutes. If you want to go insane, you can add a little bit of illuminating powder into it, and then you can leave it on as a mask for like 5 to 30 minutes. And you're going to rinse this off, and you're going to let your esthetician decide how many times a week or a month you're allowed to do this. But what I also love about this product is that you can put some of it into your favorite wash and turn that wash into a micro polish. This has everybody's favorite acids in it. So if you want to be super lazy in the shower, mix these 2 products together, massage it into your face, step away from the shower, do the rest of everything else you need to do, and then 3 minutes later, rinse it off, and you just gave yourself a quickie mask. So I seem to like products that exfoliate and then products that rehydrate. So those are some of my favorites today. Tomorrow it could be different ones.
Thank you, Frank. Heather, what are your 2 favorite products from Image Skincare?
Frank, I'm totally with you. What I say today could likely change in the next like hour. I mean, I love image products. As a professional, as a licensed professional, I'll say that I've always started my patients out on what I call the bookends of skincare. So that's what I go back to, although I love those targeted serums and masks and things like that. But if I had to choose 2 that I couldn't live without, and I'm tomorrow it may be Illuma, but it's the MD cleanser. This is, you know, like Frank was saying, like something that multitasks. This has 3 different 3 different acids in it. Glycolic, it's really teeny tiny molecular weight and size, so it exfoliates really well and works great on all skin types to brighten the skin and exfoliate. And then there's salicylic acid. So for us Latinos that maybe tend to be more oily and more congested, this will help to kind of clear out the debris in our pores, will help clean up any of that bacteria and dirt. And then where we might get dry from that combination of those acids, the lactic acid is like ultra hydrating and comes in, hydrates the skin and brightens and evens out pigment at the same time. So that I can't live without. And then Cami, the MD SPF, this is just incredible. The fact that, you know, it has so many different ingredients in it that will protect the skin, that will nourish the skin. I mean, the stem cells, the fact that it will help protect against the blue light that's emitted from our phones and our computers, that's degrading our collagen. I mean, this is just incredible. And I'm oily and I can use this hands down. Favorite.
Thank you, Heather. Melinda, what are your 2 favorite image skincare products?
So my 2 favorite are, of course, the exfoliating powder, because now that my skin, I've toned down the melasma, my skin is very even now. Love the Illuma exfoliating powder. Number 1, because it's super gentle. And what a lot of people don't realize in the Latin culture is that our skin scars not very well. And the slightest little thing, right away, we get scars on our skin. And so this, you want to make sure you're not scratching the surface of the skin. So whatever you're using to exfoliate your skin, you want to make sure that it's very small particles and it's very gentle. And that's what I love about this. And I like that you can manipulate it depending on your need. And so that's my favorite, dealing with my texture. My second, of course, is the Prevention Plus. The Prevention Plus, I was never taught to use SPF. However, as I got older, I realized the importance of it. And when I tried to use SPF, it always would burn my eyes. And so I was always reluctant to use it. When I came here and I tried this is the only SPF that I can use that does not burn my eyes. And no matter if I'm in the water, swimming, if I cry, if my skin gets oily and a little gets in my eye, it does not burn your eyes, and it's not oily. And so this is my two favorites here. So that's the Prevention Plus and the Illuma exfoliating powder.
Thank you so much, Melinda. All right, so let's turn to some audience questions. So the first question is, I'm going to just give me a second to scroll through all of these questions. Frank, I love your product recommendations. Is there any other product that you didn't recommend today that you would?
You know, there are. We're talking a lot about exfoliation, so I've already explained about this ageless. And what I didn't get a chance to say is that this is like a mini peel at home. This is a 17% blend of glycolic, lactic, and salicylic. So think of the salicylic kind of loosening up the skin. The glycolic eats it like a little Pac-Man, and the lactic calms it and illuminates it. So I do like for my Latino clients to be on exfoliators. We do need that. You know, we have a little bit of a rougher skin texture sometimes, so this is really great. And then for the younger Latins, I prefer this one. This is the Hermetic Balancing Gel Polisher. This is a newer product. It's part of the organic line. This has these micro beads in it, and it has this caviar lime, not caviar like you eat with champagne, but a special lime that has a special alpha hydroxy that will, again, eat away the debris that's in your nose if you're getting blackheads. And if you're getting maskne, a lot of people are having almost like a line like this of blackheads. This will help you so much because you could do it every day when you get home and you take off the mask. And then also when we're talking about exfoliators, you know, the Illuma powder, we've all talked about it, but look, honey, it's a powder. Have you ever seen anything like that? No. That needs to be in your life. It does everything that all these beautiful ladies have said. Did it get on your nose? When I blew it? Okay. And then the last two things I really want to talk about is a technology. It is a technology called vectorized technology. This is exclusive to Image. These two products are a must if you are Latino. This is the Illuma Intense Brightening Cream, and this will help with the sunspots, the melasmas, but it's also like yoga for your skin. There are some crazy melanocyte activity happening inside your skin that gets triggered by the sun, by the heat, by your hormones, by any stressor in your life. And this calms down that melanocyte activity with tyrosinase inhibitors so that when you are in those triggering, stressful situations, you don't re-stain your skin. So it's just incredible. And then the Illuma Brightening Eye Cream with stem cell technology. This product, I think, should be everybody's nighttime cream, okay? You can use a different eye cream during the day. Why not? But the way you apply this, because it has brightening and it also has a little bit of exfoliate, it's gonna get rid of some of that darkness under your eyes. You are going to apply it from the bridge of your nose, under your eyes, over your lids, and all the way out to your ear. So your Illuma eye cream is going like this across your face. Please don't have me see you do this with an eye cream. No, eye creams need to go everywhere. These creams are designed to go on your lids. So the vector technology is exclusive to Image. So it's not just the ingredients, it's the delivery, okay? You know how you always say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what's on the label, it's how it's delivered, okay? And with vectorized technology, which is exclusive to Image Skincare for 48 hours, these two beautiful products are penetrating and they are peeling like a bloomin' onion, honey, as they go down into your skin and they release the correct skin illuminator and the correct skin hydrator and the correct plant stem cells at the correct time for 48 hours of skin illumination. So remember, balance, then we exfoliate, then we illuminate, then we protect. So I think I've covered all the products that I pulled. I'm so glad I got to cover them all. And these will work on all Fitzpatricks. You know, I think Image is really designed like that to just be beautiful on everybody's skin. Let a professional give you a skin analysis. Start with that. Go on imageskincare.com, go to that store locator and find one of us. We're dying to meet you. We just want to meet you and put the right products in your hands. There's so much. Look at this beautiful wall behind me. How do you know what to pick? I'll help you through it. Image covers everything that you need with special exclusive delivery systems.
Thank you, Frank. You are so fantastic. So you spoke of pigmentation and you spoke of Fitzpatrick's. So the next question, I'm going to ask Heather and Frank this question. This person has a Fitzpatrick type 4 and has terrible pigmentation. What kind of advanced treatments like a peel would you suggest I speak to my esthetician about? Heather, do you want to go first?
Sure. I love peels. Anybody that knows me knows I love, love, love peeling. So first of all, you want to make sure that you actually see a licensed professional, esthetician, skincare professional, and make sure that they evaluate your skin so that they can prep your skin properly for that peel. When we are a Fitz 4 or we have any sort of ethnic background to us that can where we have elevated levels of melanocyte activity or we hyperpigment, then we need to make sure we calm that down, kind of like Frank said earlier, and I know Jacqueline says this too, yoga for the skin. So yoga for your pigment, yoga for your melanocytes, because if we go into a treatment and your melanin is still all excited and it's not really relaxed, like, I think I've heard Jacqueline even say, giving your melanin a Valium. We need to calm it down before we throw this acid onto the skin. So first and foremost, make sure that the skin is prepped properly. And what I mean by prepped is make sure that you are on some sort of alpha hydroxy acids to exfoliate the skin. Lightening, brightening agents, and some sort of retinol, and of course, sunscreen moisturizers. Secondly, after the skin is properly prepped and conditioned, because you're gonna have better results when the skin is at a healthier state, then we can decide, what do they need? If your main concern is uneven pigment, let's try to get some of that pigment under control. I would say some lightening lift peels, of course. Oftentimes when we have pigment in the skin, sometimes texture is an issue as well. So some of the wrinkle lifts would be a good idea. But I love going in after a few of the more milder treatments, like the lightening and the wrinkle, going in after that with perfection lifts, because a perfection lift is basically doing everything. It's lightening and evening out pigment in the skin. It is helping to control oil and bacteria within the skin cells as well. And then the resorcinol that's in there is a resurfacing aspect of the peel. So we're getting everything, lightening, brightening, tightening, just a full resurfacing of the skin. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you, Heather. I think the most important is to see your esthetician when it comes to peeling, because that's the most important.
Absolutely.
Frank, I'm going to ask you the same question. What would you recommend as an advanced treatment?
I think baby steps is always the way to go. Remember, I'm in South Florida where it was 92 degrees this morning. It's almost November. So we have a very limited window of opportunity where we can peel, and soon it'll be peel madness at every image spa in South Florida, trust me. But I like the enzyme peels of the O2 because that can be done throughout the year. You just keep removing, that dull skin and prepping your skin then for when winter comes, and you can do that lightning lift. Maybe we can start off very slow with you. But I feel that if we prep you properly and you take the baby steps and you're already using the good products at home, we can get you during the winter months in South Florida into like a lightning lift, and we can then see how 1, 2, or maybe more layers do on you, but always baby step. And I also think that we don't need to peel so much if we're doing the proper exfoliating at home. And all of the products that everybody has mentioned here today really do that. So you don't have to, you don't feel left out because you can't peel like in, September, like in other parts of the country. We can still keep the surface of your skin looking like you had peels without having to, risk sun damage during the hotter times of the year. So home exfoliation, the O2 lift, and Zenatic, don't discount that as an advanced treatment because it is. And then moving on to peels for the Fitzpatrick 4, maybe try a lightning peel and we can see how your skin responds to it and to what level I can take it. But with image, there's always something. It's so hard to say what I would do unless I see you. So once you get that skin analysis, I think it's kind of like the key to all things beauty, to have a professional really explain to you what's going on your skin so you know what journey they're going to take you on, from dull to exfoliating to illuminating to always gorgeous. The goal is for you to be always selfie ready, and there's ways of doing it, but really do start with the professional first. That would be my #1 tip for you.
Thank you, Frank. Melinda, this question is for you. Can I use eye conceal after injections or chemical peels?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's how it was designed. It was not designed to be a makeup or a foundation. It was actually designed for services, to be used after services. So that way you can cover up redness, but at the same time, you're not hindering the health of the skin. So with the stem cells and the botanicals and whatnot, it has wonderful nutrients in it for your skin that will help your skin to heal while evening out your skin as your skin heals. So yes, absolutely. That's what it was designed for. But now people just love using it every day just because of the fact that it makes your skin radiant. And let me add, it does have an SPF to it as well of 30.
Thank you, Melinda. Cami, what are some of the stereotypes you face in the beauty industry? Oh, you're muted. Okay, I see you. Hold on.
Okay, could you repeat the question?
What are some of the stereotypes you face in the beauty industry?
A lot of it, I feel like it's so broad. It's such a broad question because we see it all the time. Some people, like even starting with men, some people think that men don't need skincare, or they're just not highly aware of the value of skincare or why they should do it. A lot of them are growing out their beards, and they're growing under their beards. A lot of concerns about rashes, or maybe there's some acne. Of course, from everything that goes into there, if they're not cleaning their skin, that's a whole concept behind it. We're actually getting a lot of our male audience reach out to us on social media saying, what do I do? A lot of them may not have a significant other who is there like telling them, put this on your skin, do this to your skin. So it's interesting to see that and hear that often. And then, also in the sense of not discrimination, but maybe neglecting the fact that we do need to have a professional, take a look at our skin and the importance of the professional. So always bringing it back to go to to the treatment room and get a treatment there, not, at home. And then circling back to products, a lot of people think, of any race or, whatever it is, wherever they are from, they may think that, oh, that product is not suited for me, but how do you know? So a lot of people may feel like, oh, it's not tailored for my skin, but how do you know? So a lot of it is misinformation. I would say that that's a lot of it, but we have a whole army here to, teach them and enlighten them. So that's pretty much the goal. So it's more of, discriminating even the product in itself and your own skin of, well, what truly works for you.
Thank you, Cami. So before we conclude today, I would like to give Frank the chance to let everybody know how to get in touch with him, or if you'd like to visit his location. So Frank?
Well, I am here in South Florida. I am facialsfortlauderdale.com. That's facialsfortlauderdale.com. And on Instagram, I am facialsfortlauderdale. I would love any questions that didn't get answered to be sent to me to Instagram, and I'll answer you all directly myself. This has been such a pleasure to have been included with such beautiful, informative women. And for you to welcome me so beautifully into this talk has been very special to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. We love having you. Cami, why don't you tell everybody how to get social with Image Skincare?
Yes, so many ways. You can always tag us on your posts. We would love to repost them, whether it's on stories or on your feed. So you could use the hashtag, hashtag Image Skincare, age later. If you are posting, you can tag us on your post, and then we might reach out to include your post and repost it on our feed. There is, we do reach out to a lot of our professionals for highlights, product reviews. We're starting a lot of little mini series on Instagram. And then, of course, we do have our professional group. If you guys haven't joined and you are in the US, you can join our VIP group. So we're all here to engage and really share the message.
Thank you, Cami. And to get in touch with any of our panelists, please feel free to email globalevents@imageskincare.com. I would like to thank Heather, Melinda, Cami, Frank, and Jacqueline for joining us today in this meaningful conversation. Look out for our next panel coming soon, and visit imageskincare.com. It has been a fantastic day today, and I've loved moderating this event. It was my honor. And again, thank you to our attendees and thank you to our panelists.
You're welcome.
Have a
bye. Thank you.